discuss this further now, Gregory Simons joins us from Uppsala in Sweden. He's an associate professor at the Institute for Russian and Eurasian Studies at Uppsala University. Gregory, thank you so much for coming onto this news hour. We've got a snapshot there from our reporters in Geneva and Ukraine about why these meetings are so important, but not a lot of optimism going into that. We heard it from Blinken, and we heard it from the Russian side. So do you think we're actually going to see any progress here, or is this just more of a pretext that will lead to further discussions down the line and try to dissolve tensions?
Well, theoretically, it's intended to resolve tensions, or at least to dampen them down, given the amount of guesswork and fear which is as a result of this guesswork. But I would think that there is going to be nothing concrete that comes from it, because on the one hand, Russia has made some preconditions, and on the other hand, the American preconditions ignore those which the Russians have stated as being central. So this becomes an exercise in talking, but will unlikely result in anything concrete at the end of it.
So Russia beforehand has gone in with a very firm set of red lines. One of them is that they never want Ukraine to have NATO membership. A lot of these demands, some analysts are saying, are quite overinflated, and Russia has done this on purpose, knowing that they're not going to have those wishes met, or they're doing it in such a way that they can go back to the Russian people and say, well, we tried to negotiate, but we couldn't come up with anything, and that therefore we're going into Ukraine. What are your thoughts on that?
There are a couple of things. One is historical, that Gorbachev was given promises that NATO would not expand, and Jack Matlock, the former ambassador to the Soviet Union, confirms this. And this has been broken, so historically there is a case of this. If we fast forward to 2008, when you had the talks of a membership action plan for both Georgia and Ukraine in April, and then of course in August we had the 2008 Georgian-Russian war. But if we look objectively, Ukraine does not meet the criteria to be able to join NATO. So this then becomes more of a geopolitical game, because why is there talk of membership when the basic criteria for joining NATO are not met? So this is one other aspect which should be taken into account.
NATO and the US have warned Russia of severe costs if Russia does invade Ukraine, both politically and economically, especially with regards to sanctions. Do you think that's enough, though, to deter Putin from taking any action?
Well, one can understand why Russia brings troops closer to the Ukrainian border, given the fact that Ukraine has half of its army in and around Donbas region, and seems to be preparing for an offensive there.